This week, we were faced with a $1,500 question, and every option felt wrong. If you saw my last video, you know I've been trying to figure out whether we should buy ahead on essentials, because there's been a lot of talk lately in the media and everything about possible tariffs, shortages, and prices continuing to rise. And whether or not you believe the headlines, one thing I know for sure is that when prices go up, they rarely come back down. And companies a lot of times use the hype of potential tariffs and shortages to increase prices so they can make more money. So I sat down and I made a list, everything we might need over the next 3 to 6 months: household items, food staples, gardening supplies, personal care, homeschool, and clothing. And it came to about $1,500. So we had to decide, do we spend now and go deeper in debt? Or do we wait and risk being unprepared or paying even a lot higher prices later? That would have been just stressful enough, but then we added in my daughter's birthday, my husband's dental pain, curriculum changes, and some surprise bills. It felt like we were drowning in decisions this week. But then, at the end of the week, we got a little surprise that we didn't expect. A small financial win that might actually change everything. And so if you're dealing with high credit card interest too, this might be a reminder that you need to check your inbox or go into your credit card online statement and check it out. All right. So we promised our daughter, that we would paint her room pink for her birthday, something we told her months ago, and she has never forgotten and reminds us every single day. So we did bought primer and one kind of paint. Her room is small, so we can do 2 coats of paint with one can. Some unicorn wall decals and some other things to give her space a personal touch. The paint was on sale, and that's why we decided to do it. It was like 30% off everything. And so we grabbed the paint to be able to get her room ready for her birthday. Her room is small. We're not going to change bedding or furniture or anything like that. We just wanted to change the color to make it feel like it's hers, her joy, her color, her personality. For her birthday, we're only going to have a small family celebration, just my husband, my son, and I. Maybe grandmother might show up, but I'm not sure. I usually do bake the cake, but this week is packed with appointments, therapy sessions, doctor's appointments, everything else in between. It is crazy how much we have going on this week. So I just don't have the time or the energy to bake a cake from scratch. So we're going to pick up a small store-bought cake if she can figure out what she wants to make her day feel special without overwhelming the day or me and adding to any stress. We do have a few gifts and some simple decorations, just enough to make the morning magical when she wakes up. We're also reusing decorations from previous birthdays as well. Unfortunately, all of that was charged for this week. Easter in our house doesn't look like what you see on store shelves. Our kids do not do well with food dyes or sugar or chemicals, so we try to avoid heavy candy baskets as much as we can. We are not perfect. Food dyes get into my kids' food. They eat things with chemicals. Like, we're not perfect, but we try to cut down as much as we can. So instead, we give them like small toys, bubbles, sensory friendly things, which honestly ends up costing a lot more than jelly beans and candy, which is a little bit difficult. So we did get a few treats at Aldi. Aldi's really good at dye-free options and some really nice chocolates. We got some chocolate bunnies, but those extras do add up. And it's what works with our kids. It doesn't work for every family. Your kids might be totally fine with candy. I know I was growing up. But our family's a little bit different. And what matters most, what matters more than just saving a few dollars, is finding what works for your family and then trying to make that fit in the long run. Unfortunately, that also went on the card. My son's current language arts curriculum, we do homeschool. It wasn't working out this year. We've been using this curriculum for several years and he's loved it. But this year, it wasn't clicking. So we ended up switching to a new language arts curriculum for the rest of this year, and it'll probably carry into next year a little bit. It's already been a better fit. He's enjoying it. He's having fun with it, and he likes language arts again. I also took advantage of a once a year sale that the curriculum company does, that he likes the math and the art and typing and handwriting and all the other things with. They have a sale once a year that's pretty good. And so we ordered the rest of his curriculum for next year as well. Again, it's a program that he loves, and I know we will use it. He's excited for it. He's already looked through the books. So even though I had to charge it, I will still save money overall. Meanwhile, my husband had his dental consultation. He went to 2 different dentists. One, with like $2,100, and the other one says it will be a lot less than that, and they're working with our insurance company right now to figure out what the price might be. So we don't have a, definitive number or final cost yet. Fingers crossed it won't be too crazy, but if it's a big expense, we'll have no choice but to charge that as well. We also did make the decision to buy ahead, but only what we were already low on. This wasn't panic prepping or hoarding. We're just planning with intention. So we went through all of our things, summer clothes, everything that we're running low on, anything we like to buy in the next month, personal care, cleaning supplies, food supplies, and we did kind of restock things that we are about to run out on. This gives us some breathing room, and honestly, avoiding last minute store trips with the kids is a huge relief. Going to the store with neurodiverse kids is tricky. There's a lot of overstimulation, lots of colors, smells, sounds. Fluorescent lights are hard. So going to stores can be complicated. We also got some summer shoes and some summer clothes for both kids. Our Walmart runs out of their sizes really quickly, and Walmart is the least expensive option I have around. It's actually less expensive than the secondhand stores around me. So we grabbed enough for an outfits for weeks, for a week or so, and some summer shoes. So that way they have something to start the summer with. All of us did also go on the cart. This isn't about fear. I'm not stocking up out of fear. I'm stocking up to stay prepared, protecting our peace in a very full season of life. Again, I can't run from store to store. If I go to a store and they don't have what we need, it's a problem, because I then can't take my kids to another store that same day or another store the next day. It becomes really tricky. So having what we need a month out makes things a lot easier for everybody. So now you know what we've charged. Here's what we did manage to pay in cash this week. So I'm going to go to my month. So week 1, my husband and our combined income was about $1,531, so slightly more than we originally budgeted for. I paid credit card 1, paid credit card 5, dog insurance is paid, phone is paid, gas is paid. Gas is a little more than normal. My husband had a lot of driving to do, going to and from a dentist. The dentist that takes our insurance is an hour away. So that took a little bit extra money. And food, we did spend $350 on food. Some of that was Easter, some of it was stocking up. So that was a little bit higher. I guess actually we did actually pay most of that in cash. So that was good. The pest, we're going to hold off. They're not coming for another week. So we're going to hold off on paying that, but I do have it in savings just in case. And then we pay credit card 3, the internet, and our water. I thought I paid my water bill last week, but I guess the transaction didn't fully go through. So we had to pay $70 this month to pay for last month and this month. So I did pull $35 in savings to cover all of this, which wasn't that crazy, but it did leave us with nothing to move ahead or put back into savings. This week, on the other hand, we got paid a little bit more. I had a couple more classes. My husband had a few extra hours in overtime. So that ended up being a couple $100 better. So we're going to pay our loan. Food bill, I'm giving us $200 in food bill because we're going to have to add a cake for my daughter. And for our birthdays, we also let the kids pick what they want for dinner. So add a little extra money for that in case I don't have it in the house. 5 years old is a interesting time where you can't really make decisions until the last minute. So that's there. And gas, $200 for gas as well. I'm holding off on credit card too. But this will leave me about $700 to put in cash to put toward this credit card and to other bills coming up. So that's what we did this week. Um, we have a surprise. So I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I went on every week. I go on to check my credit cards to see what the balance is, make sure there's no surprise charges in there, make sure everything is fine, make sure there's no fraud. And on 4 of our credit cards, we suddenly have 0% transfers. There would be 0% interest until 2026. I didn't expect that. We haven't had any zero balance transfer offers in, good 6 months now. So even with paying a 4 to 5% transfer fee, it is way better than paying 25 to 29% interest that we've been paying. I ran the numbers and it makes way more sense to do this. So I'm in process of moving 3 balances. I did have one credit card with nothing on it that offered me the balance transfer. So I'm in process of transferring one card. Once that is done, I'm going to be transferring another to that one and then another to that one. So I will have 3 large balances with 0% interest until February 2026, and one will be until May 2026. So if you're in a similar spot, go check your credit cards. Go online and see if you have any balance transfers that have kind of popped up in the last few days. It won't erase the debt, but it's going to stop the bleeding and give your payments a lot more power again. And for the first time in a long time, it feels like we actually have a chance to pay down our debt instead of just treading water and paying slowly. So I encourage you, if you have credit cards balances, to go check them out, see if you have any balance transfers on there, and take advantage if it seems like a good opportunity for you. So that's also why I'm holding off on this to see when everything is transferred, what will we have due, what makes sense at that point. Because with the transfer, I think we're not going to have any minimum payments this month. So I might actually put this toward our emergency fund this month or pay it on a credit card that does have interest to see if we can get it paid down faster. So we're not quite sure what we're going to do yet, but that's our thinking. So for the first time in a while, we've now got a little bit of flexibility and it's feeling pretty good. So this week was not a spending spree. It was more of survival spending, birthday promises, school supplies, overdue dental work, restocking our home, and staying ahead of meltdowns. Still, I do feel guilty. We did have to pay more on the credit cards. And when you're deep in debt, even responsible spending feels like a complete failure. But you know what? It's not. If you're making decisions with love, strategy, long-term vision, you're not failing. I know that we can pay this off. I know that we're going to get overtime in the future. My husband has not been able to work overtime the last couple of weeks because he's been in so much teeth pain. So I know we're going to make this money back and we're going to be able to pay it. And now with 0% interest, we're going to be able to pay it off faster. So you're not failing. You're not failing. You're showing up. And sometimes that's the bravest thing you can do. So that's where we are. We spent more than we wanted. We charged more than we hoped, but we kept a promise to our daughter. We helped ease my husband's pain. We're prepping for calmer days ahead, or preparing for calmer days ahead, not really prepping, and made real progress toward lowering our interest rates. If you have ever had a week where your budget and your reality don't match, I'd love to hear from you. What did you prioritize when everything feels urgent? And did you have to use your credit cards to kind of get through the week knowing that maybe in the future you could pay them down? If this video connected with you, I'd be grateful if you gave it a like, left a comment, or subscribe to follow us on our chaotic journey of trying to get ahead. I post weekly updates on budgeting, debt, parenting, and real life in between that no one warns you about. So thanks so much for being here. Truly, your support means more to me than you know. And until next time, bye everyone.